Yo, 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 yo. Testing 1 2 3. 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 Let's see how this goes. All right, it looks like we're all good to go with the audio. All right, looks all good to go. Let me just jump into the voice channel. And hola. We are doing it. Y'all ready to do this? Also, that was 239. That was 240. So that was together. That was 240. All right, I can already hear myself. Shut up. Shut up, old me. Shut up, me on camera. Let me just continue this ride, and we just enjoy the ride as we can. And that's all we gotta do. Let me throw on some music in the background so that way I can hear myself, and then we just keep on trucking it and shrucking it and trucking it and trucking it until we can't no more. Let us keep on trucking it. 2:30:41, bro. Let's go. There's the dark blue. What did we say on the thumbnail? I gotta remember now. What did we say on the thumbnail we're aiming for? 2750. All right. 2750, eh? 400, 400, 400. Yeah. Yeah. That sounds good to me actually. 400. Let's go. I think that was 2341 if I'm not mistaken. This is two. Oh, that must have been two. Okay, so that was 242, and this is 243. So I'm basically one step behind. All right, not bad. Like I said, I gotta keep an accurate count so that way we can keep on doing this. But we are good to go. Let's throw some music up and let's just watch. Where's some good music right now? Let's put on some true entertainment. And we can just listen. I listen to this in the background. Hey, Drakeus. Good to see you, man. How you doing well, man? Did not expect one of my mods to be here. How it goes? How's it go with the Minecraft? How's it goes with everything else? Is everything going well? I could jump in at you in bullies in the voice calling you. I think you might get picked up on the mic if I actually enabled it. But I don't know if you want to do that or if you just want to just chillax. Dark blue, and we got 2, 3, 4, 4. Two, 3, 4, 5, bro. Don't tell me that the stream is like super low with late. Oh no, it's not ultra. It's not on low latency. So you're gonna hear me like 45 like million years ago, bro. So like by the time I get to hear your response, you're gonna be like, I don't know. I'll probably be already like a skeleton. Doing well. I'm working on the Minecraft mod. Yeah, but right now I can't vocal yet because I have 4 other people next to me. Hey, no worries, man. No worries on that. I'm just doing things right now when it comes to the basement. So therefore, I've moved everything down and I'm now able to stream in a place where I can do stuff at night. I think you can text me faster than you can actually listen to me. So it might be the case of that. Possible. Nah, that's good. That's good, man. It's good to see you that you're available today. So we should be able to do this and get this try see if we can get this shiny Regieleki up and running. Dark blue, and then we keep on going. Oh, nice. That's cool. Oh, you're talking about the basement thing. Man, that was like 45 million years ago, bro. Why is this stream on like such bad latency, bro? I should have started this. I should end this stream right now and just like go to do ultra low latency. But I might need to that might affect the quality. Oh yeah, sure. I can talk. I can vocal, but not talk to have the right timing in my replies. That is true. I can. Oh yeah, yeah, that's fair. If I want, I can move towards the bullies chat and see if that will work. I'll just have to mute myself, and then you probably will. But then, actually, that's the same issue, right? You would have to hear me through the voice chat. Yeah. There you go. Let me try switching through that. Let me get out of my server and see if this will work. Probably might hear some feedback, or might hear me have double up on the audio. There we go. I connect myself to the bullies chat. Let's see if that works properly. Is that, and do I need to deafen? No, if I deafen, it's gonna turn off me as well. That's unfortunate. So let's just go ahead and do 2349. 2349. There we go. And then we can keep on going forward. I assume you're able to hear me now, Drakius? Oh, I can throw this in right there. Gotcha. Yeah, I can read your messages immediately on the actual screen. So I'm good to go right now. Dark blue, and then we just keep on going with 2350 this time. In fact, I think Drakius, you might be able to hear like the washing machine in the background since you're going to be on the Discord. Oh, you do not actually. Oh, sweet. Hey, there you go. That's penultimate good. So I don't have to worry about background noise when it comes to people who might be on the Discord calls. I'm also surprised you're not showing up on like the top right of like the screen. I thought you would pop in, but maybe you need to. I need to have that configured so that way you would also pop up as well. Although I don't know if you would be comfortable with that. 2351. I'm fine with whatever. And that's good. I'll figure it out later on, probably like the next stream. And that way we can just do some testing later with you and get Poyo on the call so that way we can just bug him as well. Dark blue. There we go. Ooh. Anything else, Drakius, you're trying to do today? $23.53. $23.54. Besides the Minecraft mod, what else are you working on? Ooh, I double counted. I might as well go back and actually fix that. Or did I? Oh, no, I double counted. Alright, skip this one. Dragalia mod for Minecraft. Oh, you're still doing the thing. You're working on the bosses still, right? Or in this case, the golems? I'm working on a ton of things, mostly the system though. I gotcha. I'm assuming, there's gotta be a lot of systems you gotta implement when it comes to Regalia Lost, honestly. There's too many, like you could have to do the brake system, probably go with overdrive, which I'm not actually sure what it did in Dragalia Lost to begin with. Besides just being like, I guess a stage where like all the reds turn into purples. Which I made so that way you just couldn't iframe it. There were a couple of like sophisticated ones. I know like more Sayades one was actually kind of crazy, just because you have to do like the entire like destroy all the like the spheres. You gotta do all the collection with Satan's one, and then you gotta do all that stuff. So it might have just been like a lot of works. Overdrive changes patterns, attack stats, remove afflictions, change force strike weaknesses, etc. Really, some bosses were weak to force strike? Or was it because Four strikes did more damage to the overdrive bar, which I think was like the main thing is the reason is why you wanted to do overdrive, charged four strikes to begin with, because it just charged the, or it got rid of the bar. It did. Yeah, that's what I remembered. It's like you would always do a combo where you would go through like the full combo of the regular attack, but then as like the sword characters, for example, where jump up, you would hold the charge forward, and then that's why you do the charge strike as like the last strike instead. There was a lot of like strategy when it came to Dragalia that I completely like. I think I've lost in my brain just because of how long it's been since I played the game. I'm also too lazy to install the private server, honestly. A bit too lazy, honestly. Yeah, I have to go back to the private studies to study and reproduce some things. Gotcha. Yeah, that would make a lot more sense. You would have to basically like reanalyze the code, understand exactly how Dragalia programmed things that they did, and then proceed to do so. I do, I guess, wonder, was there any... Like, do you remember Burst Gambit? I did not. What is Burst Gambit? Burst Gambit? Is that the, like, the one that, that Aldred had where, like, you know, like, instead of transforming, he would just use it as, like, instead of bursting, like, into a dragon, he would just burst into his, like, higher skill level, like, reduce cooldown. Nope, that's Dragon Drive? Alright, yeah, then I don't even know what Burst Gambit even is. Burst Gambit is a special type debuff that has a counter. Once a Gambit has been applied, the counter is incremented by one time every time the enemy is successfully afflicted or debuffed. When a Burst Gambit counter reaches 0, the Gambit effect is activated varies by Gambit, and the Gambit will be consumed. Gambit, huh? That sounds like a character that was, Izumi Shingon and Yukamara had it. Really? I think the only problem was that Shingen and everybody else released literally like the last year of the game's like lifespan. So it was like there was very little time to do some actual testing and see like what exactly they were trying to go forward with the implementation. I know for a fact that I was actually looking through the I was looking through the cord, bro, and I remember you literally screaming about how we couldn't get in like the other 12 lunar calendar years. And like now looking back at it, it's a dang shame like all those designs and everything are never gonna be used again. And it's not like the Dragalia lost like the designs for them are not like so bad that you can incorporate them into Grand Blue Fantasy, right? They're not too off from like what is the base designs of like Albert does not look too out of place. Magiesa, Magiesa, whatever her name is. I don't know, just that one guy, who saved up like a billion pulls. Uh, who else? Lucius, Luckius. Uh, I don't know, man. It's which one ever it is. I forget which one is the one that like the Albert was like, oh my god, this guy exists, and then he tries to like get super mad about it. That came into Dragalia loss. He has like a water staff or like water wand, if I recall correctly. I'm forgetting who it was exactly. Lily, Albert, etc. are all from other games, but there are a ton. There wasn't. Were there that many? I think there was like 5, right? There was only like 5 characters from Grand Blue. Vampy and Grimnar are also from. Oh, Vampy and Grimnar are also counted. Gotcha. Because I know Magiesa was just literally a worm print. That was like you could equip onto a character and not have the actual character. And I think what was his name? Like Donkey. Donkey was very like upset about that. Even in Prince, he wasn't. Then what character was I thinking of that was in the Prince? GBF Magiesa. I thought she was in the Prince, hence why that Oh, Nephrin. Oh, okay, that's who I was thinking of. Yeah, because I just remember somebody was there, and I just don't remember who was there. Ah, well, man, that was some good times. I don't think I raided too much with you, Drakius, though, did I? I actually, like, I'm trying to remember who I raided the most with. It was, like, mostly the time it was, like, with Stitch. I did a lot with, like, Nana. Hoyo did a couple of times. Jays, just because he would run Chitose. He would run Chitose a lot. We ran Chitose as a meme. Cake, yeah, Cake, definitely as well. Well, Cake or Kek? Oh my god, it translated to, Cake. For Kek. All according to, Kekaku, right? And I had my Zania and Milkia for fun. So I remember that. I do actually remember that. You ran those characters a lot. You had your profile set to them as well. I remember all I did was I had the Xander profile back then. I ran Makoto every single time because I was just a huge blade guy. I was running Celeria the entire time, Celeria during my time until I think we got into Mitsude, or was I'm forgetting what the guy's name was that was like that water blade guy. Then I ran I think I ran Luca sometimes. Luca, and then I forget who the black and the blade was, like Iyasu, right? Yeah, Iyasu. Iyasu was a character I ran a bunch. Yeah. Which now looking back on it was kind of a really dumb decision because the blades weren't really that good, all things considered. Now I think about it in hindsight. I was just stubborn. Very stubborn to my will about them. I also remember the fact that they made like the 5-star welfares. For some reason, they didn't have like the 100% like reflection of affliction resistance, right? Or was I? Or am I being crazy? Like it was only like the premium units that had like 100% as affliction resistance to whichever boss they were fighting, and that made the fights way more harder. Nope, it was the old 3-stars. They didn't have the full res. Gotcha. But I thought I remember like when Celeria like first like released that she didn't have like a good resistance to. Well, maybe it's just because of the fact that we have like 2 afflictions per element. So you didn't really, so you had to deal with the fact that your character wasn't like fully resistant to the other affliction. Which now thinking about it, what is? Yeah, Gallo had duo Riz, but yeah, but not all others. Yep. Yeah, that's like the main reason why you summoned for the Galas in the first place. Just because they had like the double case of being able to resist afflictions. Yeah, because what was it? It was that Wind had confusion. Wind had confusion. Water had both slow down, I think bog and freeze. Fire had burn. Light had, I think, blindness. Weirdly enough, stun. Yeah, the wind was stunned, and then light had blindness, which I think was interesting. And then dark had I think it was poison. Funny enough, poison, and then it was like curse. I forget what curse was. The other light was paralysis. Oh, okay, that makes more sense. I didn't really deal with blindness too much when it comes to dark. I remember there was like a curse thing we had for dark. Yeah, because blindness was more like with light. Although some dark characters were able to flick blindness, they kind of switched over to having uh blindness to be like a light specific thing. Only reason why I remember this is because like Volk would do a lot. I think it was what was Wind second one? I forget. And Fire second one. I don't remember that. Wind was basically just stun and that's it? Was it really? What was the second afflictions for Fire and Wind? because it was like wind, stun, fire, burn, but then because I'm remembering the Brunhilde fight where you would get burned. I don't remember much from the twins fight because the twins fight really didn't have too many afflictions, and Volk was like the affliction king. Oh, sleep, sleep. It was sleep. Wind was sleep. Weirdly enough, wind was sleep. But then what was Fire's second one? I don't remember Fire having a second one, weirdly enough. Yeah, Fire units had stun and sleep res because wind, that's what wind characters afflicted. But then what did wind characters have that were opposite against well, no, wind characters resisted what obviously fire units had stun and burn for water units. Really? So stun was shared between fire and water? Or fire, or in this case, well, okay, so wind and um wind and water bosses both no. Wind and fire bosses both stunned. Huh, I completely forgot that was how they transmuted it. That's weird. I guess that makes sense. Maybe they didn't know what to do. So that means sleep is like the specific element for yeah, wind was like the specific sleep was a specific wind element. Stun was double used. Poison was a lot more affected. I don't think actually did um it's not Jupiter. What's his name? Zodiac. Zodiac did poison, if I recall correctly. But he didn't do did he do curse? Or was it only when he was in his high trials or primordial trials that he started doing curse? I remember he was like a massive like poisoner. Jupiter did a lot of paralysis. Yeah, and then when Midgar Somewhere did like a lot of stunning initially. He didn't really do sleep. It was a lot of stunning with the wind. Fire was a lot more I was just burning. And then I think yeah, funny enough, I'm pretty sure it is just Bog for Bog was for Mercury. Mercury was just Bog. She didn't really do any frozen stuff. Until like I guess like Celery, unlike Celery, whatever the bunny girl's name is from the fight, was the one who did like a lot more freezing in that guard. Freeze was mostly in Imperial Onslaught. Yeah, I do remember that. Like that was an annoying fight to deal with. And Gala Cecilia. Yeah, Celia was the name of it, right? Laser Ghost Spin. I still can't believe that at that point in the game, it was interesting to see like I do wonder what the developers are trying to do with Regalia Lost in like hindsight. Like after the first year, they customized it so that we had like these massive fights released for both like an expert and master mode, and that resulted in like this massive formation of like underground like elitist groups, doing hard content, clearing hard content, and then they proceed to drop Agito, and Agito was like the complete opposite philosophy of like, hey, you should now be able to do this by autoing, which is I found to be interesting in that regard. Or was it just because, or what? Like even then, like sometimes it was actually harder to multiplayer comp Agito compared to doing it normally. Uh, Ladra Winter, Haig. Hi. I'm sorry if I mispronounced the name, but hey, glad to see you're new here. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. We're just here to do some time. We're going to be going to up to 2750 for basically Regieleki and hoping to see if we can get some pushed up to the max. That's our goal is right now. And see if we can do this. I think on back on the topic of, by the way, like this old game called Dragalia Lost. Drake is, I think, the Angels is kind of like where I stopped playing the game a lot, just because like that, like Agito really kind of just, I don't know if I want to say if I say it right, but like Agito kind of like dropped the multiplayer aspect of the game a lot. I can't tell if that's after Grace released that they really, or it was just because oh no, I did some of the angel fights, but like I only did like the lower levels. I never bothered to do like expert and master, which was a dang shame because I never went past with like the demon forms to fight them. Oh, funny enough, I did come back to the game to play the primordial dragons, and I think I only got to like around beating the human forms of the dragons, and not really like anything else. Because I didn't do a lot of the hard content at that point because I think I was just like in a different like focusing on work and doing like a lot more of my the IRL grind at that point, which was a dang shame. I don't know. I think like the like doing everything solo maybe was like the biggest killer Dragalos because like that was like the start of like me being. I think I became a bit more lazy as a result with the game, which should have been my case. Hold on a second. Let me get a sip of water. There we go. Yeah, that is true. Last content that they released was very much not soloable, and that's when like you had to like step up and back up to play the game. I think that game, like I said, I think Dragalos, I look fondly back at that game. That like a very fond game to me from now on for the rest of history. Dragalia was my #1 game ever, literally. Oh, see, I didn't know that was like your top like #1 pick of the like out of all your catalog. But I respect that. Like that is like a respectable choice in my opinion because like that game brought a lot of support to my life, so I can definitely see how it can bring a lot of support to like I guess our friendship in general. I'm pretty sure we all started being buds because of that game, which is what made it like some of the best times of ever. Oh, 100% for sure. There is some hope. The game, the fact that the Twitter account, went dark, they might be gearing up for a Dragalia loss too. It sounds like cope. It probably is cope, but I'm gonna 100% say that there is a chance that Dragalia loss 2 may come out. We never lose hope. Now look at Little Noah. It died, and then they made a solo game later on. Okay, you see exactly like that's my point. Like I could easily see Dragalia lost like as the IP not being like dead, and they could release it back as well. In fact, I'm pretty sure Cygames is like known for like having their games die and then they just re-release a new version of it. Like Princess Connect was one of them. Like, isn't Princess Connect like the second version of the release? And then like the English version was like the third version of release that released with Crunchyroll. The problem is that for now Nintendo owns a part of the IP still. See, I don't know what portion of the IP do they own. Do they own the gameplay or do they just own like? It's kind of hard to understand like how much of Dragalia do they own. Oh, they can't own everything. Ah, okay. And Dragalia Lost, soon Nintendo won't hold the IP for too long, as far as I know. Really? Why is that the case? Is the patent or something expiring? Is their acquisition of it expiring? Due to how this partnership works in Japan, yeah. Really? So if they don't do something with the IP, they just lose it? Is that how that works in Japan? In that case, would transfer ownership go to side games, or would it just be lost to like public domain or something? Side game is partially owned by Nintendo? Really? What? Oh, okay. No, never mind. It's just... Oh, they have a... DNA has a stake in side games? Really? Nope, it was the initial contract that said that side games would own it later on. Really now? Oh, so side games is 29%, well, 24% owned by DNA, and Nintendo by 5%. And Cyber Agent is owned 69% of the series. Really? Partnership's real. That's interesting. They have and because DNA also makes their own games. Cyber Agents is side games though. Okay, so like it's the main company, but they have some mutually exclusive stocks with them. Well, yeah, DNA is like DNA makes the other like mobile games for Nintendo. So I'm very surprised to hear that, they've been also doing stuff like that. In fact, isn't DNA responsible for like the Nintendo accounts? I thought they were as much. Yeah, DNA Studios was one who made PCG Pocket. They made Nintendo Systems to focus on research and development of Nintendo accounts. So that is the company that handles everything. DNA is very Nintendo coded at the very least. Really? I wonder why that is. That's so interesting. It said it was an initial deal contract that said the side games would own it later on. Do you know when that expiration date is? Do we have like a knowledge on the expiration date? Is it like soonish? I don't know. That's private, and the insiders that talk about it didn't tell us either. Okay, so maybe chance, maybe not chance, is what you're telling me. But they can't start working on it until it expires. Ah. And for all we know, we won't know information if they decide to renew the contract, right? Like there is the possibility of the contract being renewed and they just bring the game up anyway. I mean, we say that Nintendo doesn't care, Drake is, but like what did they do this last Wednesday? They just dropped a direct for Star Fox 10 minutes before it had to come online and just said like, "Oh hey, we're re-releasing Star Fox 64 for the fourth time of in its like history." Nintendo does not Nintendo won't do anything with their franchises, but they will certainly mix them. They will certainly use them. For DL, they literally shut it down while side games wanted it still up. Is that true? I actually didn't know that was like the reason why the game got shut down. I didn't look too much into it. So if anything, they see it as a liability. Dang. That is kind of crazy to think about. If I have to ask, Drake, is if you've been playing the other, I guess, side games, how greedy are they compared to like, I guess like the standard? Well, I guess side games is technically the one who's made the standards, considering they were the ones who like kind of invented pity for the gacha space. So I guess I'm wondering then, hence why some of their games are died. Yeah, that's true. Because I know like it's Regalia Lost, World Flipper. Then there's I mean the first version of Prycon. I guess I wonder then how did they get so like because like Uma Musume is just like it kills the market. It is really good in the market. I have no idea why Uma Musume has been like really good. Is it just because that's just their level of quality? And also because Japan really likes horse betting. Quality saved them. Gotcha. I guess that makes sense because a lot of people love a lot of people talk about Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, right? A lot of people like it's being played at Evo right now, if I recall correctly, for the lineup for the next series. Actually, let me look that up to make sure because I remember it was said somewhere that they were doing it for Evo next year. Evo USA 2026. I remember Grand Blue Fantasy was on that list. Events. Let me check the events. Las Vegas. Events. So what are the games being played there? But you look at the other GBF game, it's even better. It's DL on steroids. Relink, I mean. Relink. GBF Relink. DL on steroids? 2024. I think this flew under the radar, I mean, for me. I don't think I ever got a chance to see, like, the game and what it does. Is this also live service, or is this just, like, a regular, standard, actual, like, fair RPG that they made? Funny enough, I don't see it's on, Nintendo Switch. Oh, no, later Nintendo Switch 2. Okay, so it already is on Nintendo Switch 2. What is the gameplay? Ow. That's a loud ass audio. Alright. Oh, interesting. It's a combat fighter. That's the new version of the game? Really? GBF Endless Ragnarok Meet the Crew Beatrix. Dark blue, what is this about? It looks interesting. Ow, 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 ow. Why is the audio always just blaring, man? Why are this thing like this, bro? Why does it just automatically assume loud volumes? But it looks interesting. That looks interesting. Will 100% say. This might be a day one cop if I manage to see when's the release day. July 9th, 2026. Man, gaming this year is gonna be eating very well. We are eating. Fully fledged Regalia Lost game, but like it's using the GBF IP. Okay. Okay. I'm 100% down with that. Remind me to get that on the calendar. As soon as I also get the Pokepia, we can also put that on the calendar as well. The game is a must-buy for me. The first version was amazing, and that one is even better. And yeah, well. Oh, and there are raids for multis. I'm sorry, what? There's raids? This sounds like a DLC. Is this DLC or is this straight up just a new version? So like if you all have the old version, does like stuff carry over? Does this have like gotcha elements or something? So so I have the carrier sorry ass. Excuse me? Excuse me, what you trying to apply, bro? What are you trying to apply? What you trying to apply? I didn't even read that message until I got there later. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Knowing me, I'm gonna have to carry your ass if you're gonna be doing this. Them fighting words. Them true fighting words, bro. You trying to fight? You trying to scrap? Oh, there's a physical and a digital version. What's the difference? Huh? The digital version's only 30 bucks. What? Am I crazy? Oh no, it's the upgrade kit. It's 30 bucks. Okay, but there's a special and a special edition and a standard edition. What's the difference? Oh, they just gave you straight up upgrade cores. Like upgrade, I guess, material, it looks like. Interesting. I'm guessing how bad is the grind for the game? Oh, that's straight up just oh, that's straight up just Faragoroth. That's just Faragoroth. Yeah, this boss is just straight up Faragoroth. What are we doing? Yeah, like looking at the screen, that's just that is just Faragoroth right there. Isn't that not? It's basically just a mini Faragoroth. Hold on, let me switch my screen real quick. Let me see, screen view. Nope. Why is that up there? Why is that up there? That's not even on the screen. What screen view is this looking at? What? What is this the screen view of? Is it not updating? Weird. Looks like the screen view is not updating. That's weird. Let me see if I can just add the screen view. All right, browser. Let's go try, let me do application capture. What does that do? Display, let me try. If I build in the build nut retina, what is it showing you? Okay, it doesn't show you anything. What about this one? Are you able to see my, you're able to see my finger, I guess. This ain't working correctly. This isn't working correctly. What is going on? Oh, it's because I was on Discord, that's why. Oh, that makes more sense. Why is it not showing Discord? I gotta figure this out now. Let me do this one. Then if I were to try it, not Google Chrome. I have a delay on the stream, you know, not on the sound though. Oh no, I'm sorry about that. I'm just looking at the OBS, and it looked like the OBS was popping up. Seems to be like an old video that I was watching earlier, and not the like recent stuff. That was being weird. Let me see if I can pull up the Google Chrome. What is it pulling up? Okay, let me try window capture. Google Chrome. There you go. And then let me try finding the right one. What was the place called again? I'm trying to find it. Oh. Was that showing up for a second there or nah? Yeah, I was gonna try to show it on screen, but like I can just showcase. I was gonna showcase it, but it looks like it's not appearing up. That's weird. See, screen view just shows up that like a me view, nothing's working. Yeah, it's showing up like a video I was watching earlier about like some drama and stuff, but it's not showing up like about like this Grand Blue Fantasy Relink demo. Weird. Let me just try to see if I can get this right. macOS, screen 2, display capture, window capture. And then if I try doing Discord, there you go. Now you can see the screen. Yeah, this looks sick. Let me remove this for now. Yeah, like this looks awesome. Although it looks probably big on the screen for y'all, but like this looks interesting. The audio looks good. I don't know if the audio is coming through. Is the audio coming through for this thing? It probably is. But yeah, this looks sick. That literally just looks like Faragoroth right there. Like with the crusty arms and everything. That just is a Faragoroth mini. Sorry, Drake, I didn't know if that actually showed up on the screen, did it? Ah, yeah, I see the screen. That's a rock golem we had in DL, though. Yeah, but like... I don't know. Maybe I'm just partial to Faragoroth, since that was like the OG boss that we used to have. The OG rock boss. But yeah, and I'm literally watching that video right now, and I gotta say that looks 100% interesting from my perspective. Old bug. Gotcha. Wait, did you never get to cut the tail we must bug? Dang, I started early? I don't remember what that bug was. Like I don't think the celery event started that early? Was that like a day one thing? Because I remember like the bug itself, we just cut the I guess we just cut the tail and then we never did anything else. I remember 1, 2, 3 bread and all that stuff. I just remember what the bug happened. Like I started playing when Lily and Levy were still the banners. First raid, Naughty said that. The cut tail we must bug. Cut the tail we must bug. Really? Maybe I'm just forgetting right now because I didn't read through or remember the story when she says that. It was during the raid itself, really. I'm trying to remember what the bug was, man. Dude, I'm trying. Well, I gotta look it up. Now you got me curious. What's the bug with Naughty saying cut the tail? Cut the tail off. GBF. Why is GBF saying that? What? It seems you're referencing a specific scene or a very niche moment involving Naughty, likely from Grand Blue Fantasy's lore or animated content. What? Alright, looks like Gemini is not working correctly, according to what it's trying to pull off. Alright, let me see right here. Not a career fair. So, someone cut that stupid tail already. Right, I remember that line. Like, she would say that. Wait a minute, didn't she say that, like, constantly during the fight? Because like, every single time you cut it off, he regenerates it, and he says, "Come on, cut the tail off already! Someone cut the tail off already! Someone cut the tail off already!" I thought, wasn't that what the issue was? Nah, it might be a fraud. I don't remember exactly what Naughty was saying. But at first, the text was displayed wrong, and she mixed the text. Really? Actually, that does sound familiar. That does sound familiar when we were first fighting for Agaroth, and yet I don't remember. I think I just subconsciously just ignored it after you do so many for Agaroth fights during that time, which is what we do. Also, I'm realizing I could be easily missing out on Shiny Regieleki just because I've been so concentrated on the Drugalia Lost conversation. For all we know, we could have passed like 15 shinies by now. Don't worry, I'm just checking. You're just unlucky. Ah, appreciate it, Drakus. I need someone to remind myself how bad I am. I need that. Now, if only we had I forget, as its finger pointing, her cell pose. That way I can post it and be like, yes, you're right. Smart thinking. Although I can include my own emotes, but I think I need to hit the number in order to include my own emotes that people can use. That way people can spam it as people can just continuously spam the emote. In fact, you probably can just spam the emote right now in the rag channel, and then we could just be like that. I'm more familiar with Twitch Lives, not gonna lie. Yeah. I was actually trying to set up the Twitch Live stuff, but like, I don't know. I was trying to do it through just like multi-streaming it from OBS with the plugin, but I don't think it's working correctly, so I might need to do it from Restream and use a service instead. I don't know if my internet can handle the bandwidth of having to do 2 streams at once. So I would have to do like a live testing, see if people are able to pick up the audio and make sure everything else is great about like the visual display. What's your up and down? I think it's like 10 megabytes per second. Like something crazily small that I'm streaming from. Yeah, you're saying what? That is, I'm pretty sure it's like 10 megabytes at like the highest. No wonder there's so much delay. Yeah, that like, well, no, that's because YouTube automatically defaults the latency to like to normal latency, and for them it's like a whole minute behind what the streamer is actually talking about. If I were to set it to ultra low latency, it would be a lot better. And they don't give me that choice to really change it unless I end the stream, do another stream, and then change the latency back. Oh yeah, it's not, I mean, like 10 is not bad, but like it's not a bad deal for what I'm getting for what my internet service is across this place. I have 47 up and 725 down. And I pay basically nothing. Really? Yeah, I think that's because you're French, and the French just have better rights. That's just basically how it is. The government understands in French that if they, if they'll do it once, they'll do it again. That's all I'm saying. In Wi-Fi, by the way, not even LAN and far from the box too. Really? Because mine is, I think, yeah, mine is not connected to the LAN either. So it is 10 just by using it being far from the box, because my box is actually in the middle of the house, where I'm in the basement. I'm curious to see how much I could pull off just by connecting through a LAN cable. Who knows? I might have a good ping with playing Smash Brothers then. Maybe Smash Online would be a little bit 2%, 2 more frames. $24.50. We're already almost, what is it, 300 away from just getting it. So we should be getting closer to actually seeing it. We had 27.50, and then I guess we can call it for, I think, that time of day. Besides that, is there anything else that is coming out this year? I know Pokopia is still something I'm planning on streaming. But you know, honestly, I'm looking at Tomodachi and I'm like, Tomodachi seems like a really fun game as well. I also kind of want to try out. Just because of how much videos I've seen, and like it looks to be pretty crazy, all things considered. Also, I'm curious to see like how fun is the multiplayer for Pokopia. Is it pretty fun, all things considered? Is Pokopia how is the multiplayer for Pokopia? Didn't test it in, was waiting for you, and then forgot. Ah, my bad. That's my bad. That's 100% my bad. Completely, I think it's just slipped my mind, man. Nah, let me see if I can. Let me see what I can do for this month, and then let me see if I can just cop it, and then we can try playing the game right then and there. Of course, I'm gonna have to probably like speed run through the game while we playing through something cozy. Probably would try to voice act the characters. Oh no, I got what you mean, Drake. Yes, I'm just saying that you know, like I'm also equally at fault for forgetting as well. But yeah, big year for gaming when it comes to like 3 good games so far. Now that I think about it, has there been a game of the year that people are screaming about for this year? Now that I think about it, we're like almost halfway through the year, and I have not gotten like people in my, I guess, like Twitter or like anything like when it comes to like other social medias being like, oh, this is gonna be like the Expedition 33 of the year, or like the Elden Ring of the year. I've not heard anything in the last 5 months. Yeah, gotcha. No worries. I'll let you know. Let me know when you come back. But yeah, GTA, eh? GTA is kind of... Is it coming? I still don't know, actually. GTA's release date. November 19th, 2026. But I don't... GTA no 6 November means no other games will get Game of the Year. But isn't it... I think that is the cutoff line, though, is it not? November 6th, like... Game Awards usually like have a certain day where they don't have... Games cannot qualify for the Game of the Year if they're like too late. I think GTA might be like right around the cutoff point. Oh no, it's November 20th, 2026 is the cutoff for the Game Awards eligibility. But that might be cutting it close, man. I mean, like you only have 14 days to play GTA 6, and most of the people on the committee are not people who are like have time to play games like that. Barely making the deadline. Huh. We will have to see. Oh, release of November 19th. Wait, GTA's release date is November 19th? It's one day. Oh, wait. So GTA 6 is literally no, never mind. I wasn't even talking about wait. GTA 6 releases the day before the cutoff date for 2026 Game Awards. I don't think you can qualify a game in one day, right? Sure, you can call it hyped, but I don't think you can say it's the game of the year if it literally comes like I don't know, Drake. Yes, because like I don't like most of the games that have won at least come out like during like June and July. Like GTA 6 might be like the press will have it longer for most people, but I don't know if the press are the ones that are usually on the board for like the game awards. They may have it for longer, but I don't. That's a hard. I don't know. That's a very hard decision, and then you also have to rate how like people are gonna treat it favorably, right? Like, do you just like? I don't like. Let's be honest here. Like, I'm thinking about like the fact that like Xenoblade 3 came out in 2023, and that game was on the Game of the Year awards. If it's not 2026's Game of the Year, it will be 2027. But you know, in my opinion, it will work. I don't think so because like a lot of games like that don't really get on there like that. And also, that's the biggest problem is that December is literally a black hole for the video game awards because most people are not actually looking at the games that came out at the last month of the year, and so they don't put it on to like the actual game awards. I know this because Xenoblade 2 really just got scuffed over because of that. It's 2471. 2472. 'Dragon Age Inquisition 2014 released November 18th, 2014 and won the Game Awards Game of the Year December 5, 2014. That seriously? We'll have to see if that is the case. I didn't realize even Dragon Age Inquisition even released that like late. What was the 2014 cutoff date? I'm actually curious now. Okay, but so apparently from what I'm reading on the researched, the cutoff date was November 25th. The nominees were announced November 20th, but they were cut off 25th. So it was allowed to be on there. 2475. Really? Really, huh? But I think that isn't 2014 like the start of the Game Awards? I thought it was like Game Awards for first year. Yeah, the Game Awards was 2014 starting of the first year. So that might I'm wondering if that might be just more so because of the fact that it was like the first year of the Game Awards that happened and they allowed that to happen. There's another Game of Year that also had 17 days, but I don't remember which ones. Dark Blue still, right? What is Jeff Keighley's Game Awards even called again? We just call it the Game Awards, but I'm pretty sure it's not just called the Game Awards. Dark Blue still? Okay, so 2014 was Destiny? Wait. Which Game Awards am I looking at then? If 2014 Dragon Inquisition won. Which one am I looking at? 2014 Dragon Inquisition Game of the Year. What is that? Which one am I looking at? The Game Awards 2014. It says right here that the Game Award year was like Destiny, which I know is not right. Oh, the Game Awards. That's what it's called. Okay. Host of the Spike Video Game Awards. Okay. So the voting jury is 90% and public fan voting is 10%. Okay. So you had Dragon Age Inquisition, you had The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, then there's Overwatch, Breath of the Wild, Dark Blue. Dark Blue again. Okay, yeah. It released on North America on November 18th. That's why. Gotcha. That makes a lot more sense. Overwatch was a 2016 game? I completely forgot like some of these games even exist. That some of these games came out like this long time ago. Overwatch is 10 years old? GTA 6 release date Thursday, November 19th, 2020. This year, that date is Friday 20th. Yeah, 2 days. Well, I think the thing is though, is like the cutoff. I don't know if the cutoff date. Yeah. Is the cutoff date considered on that date or is it the nominee date also? Because like, unless the nominees are released later. So what is the 2025 Game of the Year nominee release date? What was the nominees release? Nominees reveal date. What was that? We're officially announced on November 17th, 2025 for this year. Or like last year in this case. The cutoff wait, so the announcement date was on November 17th and the cutoff date was November 21st. So literally 3 days before the game actually releases, they announced the nominees. Is that going to be possible then? Are they really going to sit there and announce GTA before the game comes out? Did they do that for the other one? For 2014's? Game of the Year nominees reveal date. When was the reveal date for this? Okay, so 2014 included November 20th, 2014, Dragon Age Inquisition. So Dragon Age had 2 days to be revealed then. but that probably means then that's an interesting position for GTA 6 because that means that the press has to put their vote 4 days before the game is officially released. I don't know. That kind of sounds like market hype in that case because like that is like the perfect storm of being like, oh, the press, who is the only people who have access to the game, has the game and then puts it on the nominee list. That would just like inflate the sales of it. So that way more people would be willing to buy the game then at that point. I don't know, that sounds like a marketing strategy. That's what the Game Awards do, but no, I think no, what I'm saying I think is like no, but I think that's kind of like the last fiasco. What do you mean? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Are you talking about like Expedition 33 or are you talking about something else? Was there a game that was nominated that wasn't released yet? Oh, High Guard was nominated? High Guard? High Guard. Yeah, it was released January 26, 2026. Oh, High Guard was announced at the Game Awards. Yeah, so no, what I'm referring to, JP, is that is that if the press are the only people who no, I think I see what you mean by the marketing. What I'm saying is that are the press really gonna put a game on the nominations because the nominations happen before GTA 6 even gets released publicly? Are the no- are the press gonna show that it's already announced for their nomination for the Game Awards? Because I don't know how that can happen if 10% of like of the gaming thing is not gonna be because like I don't they just not have a say otherwise they just don't do not have a say otherwise they would get flamed. But like see that's a weird situation to me because like you're gonna have a game that's technically not released officially publicly to the wider audiences until 3 days after the nominations are announced and the cut and 2 days before the cutoff date. Remember, all devs move their release dates because they knew these months are dead thanks to GTA. Yeah, yeah, but I think that makes sense. But I don't know if hmm, I don't know. Maybe there's just a lot more corporate meddling is gonna happen that allows people to vote for GTA 6 as a nomination before people are allowed to play GTA 6 as a nominated game. Right, because like that's gonna create some like if I wonder if then that's gonna set people's expectations too high. Because like if all the people who only played it before the nominee were just a press, and the press then has that game in multiple categories, that might I don't know, that just sounds like a lot of drama. Is GTA 6 expectations are already sky high? Yeah, I guess that is true. But like I don't think like what was it like Zelda Tears of the Kingdom where it also had expectations that were already sky high and then that game like Tears of the Kingdom is like received very very like poorly due to just how high the expectation was. It was nothing compared to GTA like literally. I mean both won both won like the hype award for the Game Awards. That's why I'm thinking about this. It was nothing compared to GTA. Yeah, that is true though. I don't know. It seems like a messy date. We'll just have to wait to see what November does and then do so. Around 23 million for Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Like, as you mean sales? Because I'm not gonna try to compare like the copies or anything. Because what I was comparing was what I'm trying to compare was the expectations and the rewards that they got. Like Tears of the Kingdom, I think got also the hype award from the Game Awards. It also doesn't help that Tears of the Kingdom is only exclusive to Nintendo, so not everybody's gonna go buy it. What I mean is that GTA is just a whole different beast. Yeah, that's why I get what you mean. Oh, hey, Lucas. Glad to see you were able to join in onto the stream. We were just talking about GTA 6, and we're trying to figure out if GTA 6 will it be included in the nominee list. If the day they announce the nominees are during like 3 days before the game, like 2 days before the game releases. So I'm wondering if the press is gonna put GTA 6 on the nominee list before the public are officially be able to like grab it. I'm curious to see like what other people's thoughts are on this. Don't get me wrong, that's like a pretty good way to get viral marketing, but I'm just wonder if that is how people are gonna try to do it. If I remember as that they didn't even announce the dates officially, and having GTA 6 in it would skyrocket the ceremony views. They will push the date back a few days if they need to. That is true. That is 100% true. I guess is that based on just the typical schedules and not aligns with what they have said? Anticipated cutoff date. 24.95. I feel like they should acknowledge it for the most hype game of the year or something, but I don't think it will win any awards. Really? Really? I feel like it's gonna be I feel like it will if it's gonna be available before the ceremony is available, as in what you two are referring to, that it would get some sort of a nomination. Now, whether in regards to what type of nomination they would win, I assume GOTY pretty easily if people's expectations and feelings are about the game are good. I'm not sure what exactly they would also win. I don't play GTA games for like the music. Like if anything. I don't know, there's some like nice boppers in the GTA soundtrack, but like it's not something I would like actively listen to like continuously. Music, maybe not. Music, no. Story? I don't I don't even think of story in GTA. Story, yeah? Really? Do people really think GTA Story like 5 was like that level? Maybe I'm out of touch because I never thought of the story of GTA being like super like I guess like complex. I guess it's kind of very simple. So maybe that might be to its advantage. But like I don't like it's not I guess I would say like it's not as immersive as I'm thinking it is. It is a complex and critical of the American way of life. I mean, I guess it is, but I don't know, man. Like when it comes to the GTA games, I don't see too many Americans being like, "Oh, like I'm very heavily interested in the, like, I guess, like, best writing wise. It's very recognizable though. Like the way that it's structured, like you always, like the Franklin meme is always up there. Like the like yeah, like a bunch of the moments in GTA are a lot more memorable than I think they are. But I don't know if they're like, I guess that's a really hard question to ask, is like what defines what's good in a story if we're not evaluating the writing of the story in this context for GTA. Only frontiers yet are Resident Evil I completely forgot about Requiem. I completely forgot about Requiem existing. Yeah, that's definitely a game that's gonna be on the ballot. Resident Evil is gonna definitely be on there. Pragmata, oh yeah, Pragmata 100% for sure. That's gonna get like that might get like the family award. Funny enough, it might give Nintendo its run for its money. Pocopia, that's probably also in the family reward. And Crimson Desert, I've actually not heard of that last one. Crimson Desert. Yeah, I've not heard about anything from Crimson Desert. I just not heard any news. The first thing that pops up when I look up Crimson Desert is someone complaining that's a 100-hour tutorial for a game. So I don't know. Maybe, maybe some people will not like it. If the first thing that pops up is kind of like negative in its review. That's interesting. It's a meme in the community too. Really? Even the game makes fun of their long tutorial. Hmm. Really? Okay, so maybe that might be a lot more like a mixedly positive, negative, from what I'm understanding. Are there any other games? Hmm. What else released this year? Was there a Mario game this year? There was no Mario game this year, is there? Oh well, there hasn't been a direct for Nintendo in literally like a couple of years. Besides the Star Fox direct. Is the Star Fox game even coming out this year? I actually even bothered to check to see if that game was coming out. June 25th. Oh. Oh, so that game is gonna definitely be on the family banner for the nominees. If that game is gonna be on Star Fox Switch 2. Is that the title of it? Star Fox Switch 2? Tomodachi Life game, maybe? You know, I respect that. The Tomodachi Life game has basically been some of the funniest things I've ever seen on YouTube, honestly, from what I was watching. So I 100% agree that that Tomodachi game could be 100% fun. There's a Yoshi game that's coming out this year, too. Yeah. Yeah, I did hear about that. The Yoshi game does look good. That's the one that's supposed to be taking inspiration from well, it's supposed to be just inspiration from Yoshi Games Island and all that stuff. So that might be really fantastic. It also helps that it's not like a re-release of something like Epic Yarn. And GBF Ragnarok could actually place itself, I guess. No, looking at Grand Blue Fantasy, that's gonna be nominated for like Action Game of the Year if some indie game is not gonna pop off this year. Actually, I'm actually even now asking that. Has there been any indie game that's popped off this year? Splatoon Raiders? Splatoon Raiders. I actually don't even remember that also being announced. Splatoon Raiders. July 23rd. Spin-off game is primarily single player and story focused. Choose either Inkling or Octoling, who takes on the role of a mechanic occupied by the members of Deep Cut, who appeared in Splatoon 3. They explore a region known as the Spiral Fit Islands. Oh, I didn't even hear about this. Why have I not heard about a bunch of this stuff? Or do I just not remember? Maybe it's just been, this year has been a bit crazy. Maybe I just don't remember what games are coming out. So Splatoon Raiders is coming out. Splatoon Raiders, okay, yeah, there's a ton of games coming out then. What the heck? Splatoon Raiders is coming out. Pocopia has a chance to be nominated. Tomodachi Life has 100% has a chance to be nominated. That game is too funny. Crimson Desert. Resident Evil Requiem is definitely getting nominated for Game of the Year, just because of how much buzz that game had generated. I'm trying to think about what the indie space is, and I can't think of anything that's come out that's indie. Is there anything that's come out that's indie that's people have been talking? Well, no. Slay the Spire 2, right? Because that's coming out this year, right? I did hear that was coming out. Oh, it's already out. Do people like it? I actually not heard of any much of results about that game. Well, we still have like what, 4 months before people can find like another indie game that people are gonna be craving for. By an indie by the creator of Isaac, the cat thing. Cat thing? Cat thing. Creator of Isaac creator. Cat game. Oh, Mugenics. Oh, is it? Oh, it's the roguelike one that I heard about. Yeah, that might be a sleeper hit, man. Wrong copy and paste. No worries, man. March 5th, 2026. Just remember that. Seems to be like a good looking roguelike. Dark blue. All right, we're at 2516. We'll get to we're getting about to be about at 275 around like what, 224, 234, 234. So it should be getting close. But yeah, what else is gonna be? What is nominated at the Game Awards? Oh right, best gacha game, isn't it? That's what it's called. No, best mobile game. That's obviously gonna go to Genshin, as per normal. It won 2026, right? Or 2025 at least. Let's show the winners for 2025. Still dark blue. Alright, yeah, show the winners. Oh, I'm trying to view all the categories, man. Best mobile game. Well, what won this year? Oh, really? Uma Musume won this year. Oh, really? I completely forgot about that. Although technically that game was already out in like what, 2023, 2022? So they won the English version. That's always been an interesting thing, is like it's always based off like the global version that gets released, that gets based off like when the game is released. Because I've been hearing about Umo Musume since like what? 2023? 2022? And only one in 2025. Wuthering Waves came out last year? I completely forgot about that. Neverness to Everness is like a GTA gacha. A what? I'm sorry, a what? A GTA gacha? You realize what you're applying to me, right, Drake? Yes, you could just like... What? Okay, I gotta go check this out afterwards. What do you mean a GTA gacha? So there was like never to Everness. Drake, are we sure that Arknight's Everfield won't be qualifying for the best gacha game for this year? But I could definitely see Arknights taking the game because of its gacha elements. Wait, is Arknight's Enfield even a mobile game? I thought, or is it like a full-on video game? Oh no, it's a full-on action game. And so this is only for like best mobile games. Okay. What won best fighting last year? The Fatal Fury series? Okay. I didn't even realize that they released a new one. Best ongoing, best VR and AR. So like some of these things are gonna be interesting to look at when it comes to both. It's Enfield or NT. Okay, that's fair. Best esports game. We can just skip over that. Just invoking an esports game's name is probably gonna cause issues. What won last year? I'm actually trying to remember what won last year. Astrobots? Yeah, it was Astrobots, wasn't it? So when Astrobots won, what was that up against? That like people were saying like was like the number one. $25 to $27. Wait, how are people talking about Expedition 33 when Astrobots won the game? Expedition 33 didn't come out when Astrobots was a game? Was it? When did Expedition 33 release? Yeah, April 24th. How are people talking about Astrobots the day after? Astrobots Game of the Year. I need to see when that won. Because that didn't... Yeah, it won the 2024. Against Balatro, Black Myth Wukong. Final 7... Fantasy 7 Rebirth and Metaphor Refantazo. Man, now thinking about it, that 2024 Game Awards was actually pretty weak, all things considered. There wasn't really a game that like was sweeping through like Expedition 33 was last year. That might be good. That might be good in hindsight, honestly. Yo, that's so crazy. What do you mean GTA 6 won the most anticipated hype game in 2024? We've known about this game for 2 years? Jeez, man. dark blue. Yeah, no, I get what you're going for, Jake, because that makes a lot more sense to me. But what I'm trying to see is what won the game of the year during the yeah, yeah, funny enough, looking back on it in hindsight, 2024's Game Awards was actually really diverse. Like there was no game that people were saying like was gonna be, well, okay, no, that's not true. A lot of people were saying that Elden Ring was gonna win like a full sweep of the awards because it got announced again for its DLC. I remember there was some hate for that, but Astrobots clearly won all throughout. Like not a single time did I see Elden Ring, the Tree of Erden, has like a nomination for any of these. Wow. I mean, it got nominated, but like it didn't win anything. That is actually kind of surprising. That also just reminds me that the Game Awards are really just when certain people interact with it. Some people are very much a lot more whiny about it than they are usually. Because I remember like there was like a ton of hate because of the Erd Tree stuff for Elden Ring. I'm also just noticing it's been what 100 counter since in the background, and I've not noticed if this thing has been white. And I'm pretty sure Drakus can tell that this thing has not been white. Yeah. Oh well, what can you really do about it, man? It really does be like that. Unless you had one while I was away and still talking. I don't think there was one. But I think that's fine. We could try watching the Star Fox Direct right now and seeing if we can do something while we do it. Although I would have to put up the screen again to see if that starts working correctly. You know, I'm a bit surprised. You're playing Pokemon Champions in the background, Lucas? I respect that. Yeah. So far, I've been just kind of just mindlessly like going through the numbers. What was I just thinking about? Oh yeah, it's. I'm now I think about it. Like Drake, does it feel weird that Pokemon is not releasing a new game this year, or like releasing a new mainline game this year? It was kind of weird because like the 25th anniversary for Pokemon on 2021, they released like a lot of events happening, a lot of stuff. But like this year has been, I can't tell if it's just been very slow when it comes to like what is being done in the Pokemon sphere. I mean, I'm happy that Champions and like Pokepia's out, but like when it comes to like regular events, there's not really much there is when it comes to like what Pokemon is doing for the 30th anniversary compared to like what was it like Pokemon's 20th anniversary was like the release of like uh what is it, Legend Sun and Moon. But they also did like the GameStop stuff where like you could get like a free mythical every month by just going to like your local game store. And then you could also do like these other like small events that you could do. Yeah, Gen 10 is the anniversary game, so they can't fail it and had to say 27, 27. Oh no, I get that. What I'm saying is it's surprising there's nothing much more else happening this year. I know there's Pokemon Champions or Pokemon World Champions, which is happening in LA, and people are they're having like this sort of like Pokemon XP event, but I don't even know we've gotten any more information about that. It's like it's kind of they kind of been up on the hush about it, and it's only like 3 more months away, which is kind of surprising to me. Like if I'm looking through Cerebi right now, there isn't really much, I guess, things happening. I don't know. It's kind of like maybe it's just me, but like it feels like the overall year has been a bit weak if we're not counting Pokepia and Champions in there. But no, even including Pokepia and Champions, it's like I don't know. Like Pokemon's like 20th anniversary was like also the release of Pokemon Go, which is a very big thing in the community. And this is gonna be the 10th year of Pokemon Go as well. So I'm not sure why it feels so like slow. That it's like nothing's really happening too much. Like the direct for Pokemon was literally just them saying that hey, every Pokemon will spawn in your area, and even then that was kind of like just a small event, because it was only for like 3 days. Maybe like they recycled through a lot of the legendaries so fast for Pokemon Go, but like even then it didn't feel like too much. Maybe I have too much expectations for anniversary years. I might have that just that feeling like milestone like dates and celebrations. Maybe I just placed too much uh emphasis on, because I felt the same way when I was playing Dokkan 2 years ago and during the 10th anniversary celebration, and that 10th anniversary did not like hit at all for me. Like all they kind of really made it special for was just that, I mean, they released a bunch of content, but it's hard to make the content, I guess, really phenomenal, because like all you did through the content was just take like your super strong characters and just breeze through like a lot of the events. Whereas I was kind of hoping for more like a case of like they would force us to diversify a little bit more as well. Maybe it's just me. I think they do not actually care much about Dokkan, just about the money. Yeah, I can get that. And you think for Pokemon, it's more about them having a problem they messed up and then trying to fix it. I mean, I get, I, I mean, what do they really mess up on when it comes to? I don't know. There's a lot of things that's going wrong with Pokemon. Like, I don't think the 30th anniversary packs for even Pokemon like TCG, like the actual card game, are even out yet. And that's mainly just due to the fact that there's a in that type of context. Last because like the cards are not even out yet, but like no one can barely buy anything for the cards because like most people are just trying to flip money for the cards for their own scalability. Like I know Pocket's doing well, but like Pocket is like Pocket was a phenomenal game, but it also released in 2025. Yeah, in America there really aren't too many measures against the like the resale and the scalping, which is, it's America. America's always kind of like this. Like, now that I'm saying this out loud, I'm trying to think about the fact that has there been any game where like the celebrations are like massive for their milestone games? Besides like gacha games, which are exclusively like always celebrating the new like year of their anniversary by like releasing some new hot stuff. Like, was the Mega Man celebration good? Sonics are like, it's also kind of meh as well. Zelda was skipped basically, was it? All right, it was like the 30th anniversary of Zelda last year, wasn't it? Yeah, but even it's weird because like Mario, like wasn't Mario's technically like kind of shoved us aside? Like not really because of the Mario movie, but more so because of I don't know. It's weird to ask people like what were people's opinions on the Mario movie, and like I guess like Rosalina as a character in that movie. 'Cause a lot of people feel like she got skipped over. Retcon was bad. What retcon? Still enough to please everyone. Rosalina. Oh, are you talking about the Rosalina one? I mean, I mean they lightly address it, but I don't like. I think the thing about the story about the Mario movie was that I think that's just it's its own separate continuity, isn't it? Like I don't think most people think that Mario and Luigi used to live in the same like they lived in a different I guess dimension compared to where the nope, they confirmed it's canon now. Canon. Oh, Canon as the spelling. Really, they confirmed that Peach is Rosalina's sister. So it doesn't go kaboom. Well, is that really confirmed to be canon? Really? And that's including the games as well? I didn't see anyone mention that it was also for the games as well. Yeah, it was Miyamoto. Miyamoto confirmed outright directly that Peach and Rosalina are siblings? Really? Huh. So how does that fit with the storybook narrative? And he said that applied to the games? Really? I mean, I guess that makes way more sense as to how Peach is like the rightful owner of the Mushroom Kingdom. Because that kind of implies that you can take the story in a way so that way it's not that, you know, Mario and Peach are the ones making, or in this case are being like the mom and dad to Rosalina. It's that Rosalina was, I guess, the older sister of Peach. She gets picked up by a Luma, goes across the universe. Maybe the mom and dad grieve about it, and then they have Peach as like the second kid to rule the nation. I don't know, that's some interesting thing about the lore. Remember that in the French version it says Rosalina's father has a green cap and a mustache. I guess that makes sense. Does Luigi? I guess does Mario's dad in the movie have a green cap? Or was it a blue cap? Oh, I realize I'm not counting. I think we're on 225 25252. How often? How long was I on 252? Oh, I've been on for like. Oh, I was not pressing that. I was not pressing that button. I was not pressing that button. Let's spam that button a little bit more. We're probably like a 255 to 8. Oh, you got Ultra Ball rank 3? Hey, there you go. Politoed survives a Mega Charizard-wise Solar Beam, in case you don't want to know. With special diffusing nature. Really? Really? Oh, that's interesting information. I didn't think Politoed was that tanky. I guess that makes sense. Politoed and Drizzle, I assume it's a special defense boosting nature too. Are you running a rain team against the Are you running a rain team against the sun team? Or is the sun team running or are you running a sun team against somebody else's rain team? Also, I think Solar Beam, doesn't it get like reduced damage during the rain? I thought that was the thing. I thought that was something that was mentioned. I thought Solar Beam like basically has its damage cut in half in rain. Dark blue. No, Solar Beam will only also have its power halved when it's in hail, fog, or sandstorm. Okay, so it's not rain. Rain doesn't affect it. Now, a Perish Trap Politoed. It had Sun Up. Okay, so dang, it survived. That's actually kind of crazy. That's super crazy. Sun Up, Charizard Y, I assume, huh? Oh, I guess that does mean that you probably need to run some level of Calm Mind on your Charizard. That way you can like Oko sweep it and just be fine with it. I think I put some points into special defense, but it wants a lot. I do wonder how much of a difference that is. It might just be like a difference between like 4 to 8 points on your Politoed at max level. That sounds interesting. I haven't gotten a chance to try. I don't think Drake is. Have you gotten a chance to try too much of Pokemon Champions? Too busy with coding and drawing? Nah, I get that, man. If you get some time, I would enjoy actually doing some friendly battles with some of the chat, so that way we can just do a Pokemon Champion stream, set it up, so that way we can just do some fighting over there instead. Do a friendly battle and see what we can use as rental Pokemon. Could be nice, but I'm bad. Hey, no worries about that, Drake. Yes, I mean like no one's. I don't think anyone here is like super like Wolfie VGC level at this. I like doing this stuff. Ooh. Oh. Probably gotta spam the button some more. I think I went through like 10 encounters without pressing the button, so I gotta like spam this more. I think we're somewhere around like 270. I think we're around like 26, like 25, like 80 something. So I gotta like spam button. Let me see if I can put the live stream around like Let me put it at like 4 times speed, so that way I can catch up to see exactly how many messages I probably missed and like didn't focus on. There we go. Let's see how this goes. All right, 2569. Dark blue. Two five seven zero. Oh yeah, I was skipping a lot. I'm just looking at the footage right now back. I didn't start counting properly for a while. Alright, just throw it up to 275 2575 and I think we'll stop it right there and then we'll just go to is it 175? 2750? Yeah, it is. Quick maths, man. Quick maths. 2576. Still not shiny, eh? Does anyone here believe that we're going to be able to get this before we go over odds? Or do you think we're going to go over odds and then feel the same pain that Drakeus feels every single time he does the shiny hunting? Over odds? See, I'm going to prove that wrong right now. Okay, never mind. Also, going over odds is good for me. Both of you are saying, oh, well, over odds. Dang. I mean, we got another 2,000-ish. So we got another 2,000 before we get to hit the true, real odds of this not working well. Should be too bad, all things considered. Going over odds is good for me, Drake. Yes, I don't think so. But isn't it like the chance of actually going that high, like around like 60% for like if you hit your odds? Like you'll usually have like a 40% chance to find the Pokemon that you're trying to look for before you hit odds. Granted, it's like closer to a flip coin, weighted coin, but it's still pretty even on the odds. You're invested now? I mean, I just want it to last as long as possible to be a nice hunt. No. I mean, yeah, once you like get to like this high of a level, you just want to see when that person will get the shiny and just like be done with it and at the same time have to see their reaction. My case is probably either I'm going to be groaning or I'm going to be exactly happy to finally get the shiny. In this case, it's like what, the last shiny for me? So like once the shiny is done, I pretty much have all the ones I can get without relying on Pokemon Home to get them. So like this is like the last shiny of me on my Switch Unless I'm gonna sit there and do like 18 copies of Arceus to get every single one of them as like their different colors. But I'm not that crazy. And I don't think you can. I think Arceus is only allowed to be normal type when it's on the... Yeah, I think it's only normal when you're put it in Pokemon Home because there's no way you can put items there. So I'm not even sure what I'm missing when it comes to my decks. Let me check that actually. Let me pull that up and let me see what am I missing from Pokemon Home. Am I gonna shine out everything in winds and waves? Possibly. Theoretically. But that also depends on if I have a sinking feeling that Pokemon Winds and Waves is gonna come out for like late 2027. So like by that time, that year and a half could span to like numerous amounts of different releases also happening. Like Pokemon could get cocky and just be like, all right, we're gonna release Shiny Magearna for Pokemon Go, and I'm gonna be sitting there having to do that hunt as well. That's also a lot of preparation to do for Pokemon Winds and Waves because I know for a fact they're gonna take around like 6 to 8 months before they release like Ditto to be available in that game, so that way you can do the breeding. Actually, is Ditto low-key like the one Pokemon that's in every game besides the Legends games? Am I right in thinking that? Yeah, Ditto's in every game because every game that involves breeding just involves Ditto. Yeah, that is true. Like, yeah, Ditto's it's in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. It's definitely in Sword and Shield. Definitely in Scarlet and Violet. BDSP for sure. Legends Arceus it's not. And Legends ZA it's not. Huh. Yeah, it's one of it's not as a but that means it's not a it's a mainline game must have to have Ditto in the game. Which means every slot has to have Ditto included in the mainline games. Pikachu doesn't it? Pikachu doesn't. Pikachu is in every single game as well, but he's in every game because he's the mascot. Eevee, yeah, no, Eevee's in every game too. Why is Eevee in every game? I guess the second mascot technically. I mean, if there's one thing that was good about Legends Arceus, it was that Charizard wasn't in that game. Technically speaking. No, technically not actually. Eevee isn't in Eevee isn't in Pokemon Champions. And that's also that's hard to how do you classify Pokemon Champions? Is that a spin-off? Is that a mainline game? How is that being registered right now by the fan base? What is Pokemon Champions considered? Is it supposed to be a mainline game? It has a story mode, so it has some level of like, I guess, explanation. Is Pokemon Champions a story mode? Is Pokemon Champions a spin-off or mainline game? Let me check to see if maybe like Pokemon Champions is a mainline game. So even though, okay, so I guess people are not considering Champions to be a mainline game. They only consider core RPG or traditional RPG in the game. I guess that makes sense. That's always an interesting question. Is Legend ZA technically an RPG? It's not turn-based, but it is like Xenoblade action-based combat. So I'm curious to wonder if that is more what the game's. I guess if no, Xenoblade X is considered an RPG. There's no reason to say that Legend ZA is not an RPG either. So yeah, no, it's 100% an RPG. Drake, yes, I want you to know every single time you write the word kek, it's gonna be auto translated to cake, bro. It's keikaku, man. Keikaku. Where's that Light Yagami meme? What is it? What does that guy say? Keikaku the wori this or something like that? Like just according to plan. Okay. Oh my god, it translated keikaku to literally keikaku. You can't make this stuff up. It translates kek to actual cake, but it can't translate. It can't actually translate keikaku. Oh, that's so funny. That's hilarious. Okay, translated keikaku. It's keikaku. It's an uppercase K. I think I'm gonna take a small break once we hit 2600. Just to like, it's been 2 hours since I sat down. Might as well just 2 hours to stretch. Do like a 1 minute stretch, and then also just like take care of anything else. I'll be back in a couple of seconds. The stream will still be on, but it'll probably be in the break session, and I'll come back and try to turn off the break. Alright. Looks like I'll just be able to take care of the break and do the break right now. Alright, sounds good. Start the break. And I can just turn off the game and start the break for, let's just say, 5 minutes. We are back in business. Let's go. Let's end the break and jump right back in. There we go. We go ahead and go back and go to the statue, press the 2601. What messages did I miss? Lucas is saying that your prediction is 2656 is going to be the time for Regieleki. All right, I'm going to hold you to that. I'm going to put that on the screen right now and say 2656. Drake is saying that would be hilarious. Tornado plays. How are you doing? I know for a fact that right now you only came to say hey just because you saw that there was a break on right now. You little cheeky. I know for a fact that you just came here for the break and that's it. Now they're at 2603. Now we can keep on trying and keep on going. Ooh. I can already tell my voice is a little bit shaky now because of the how long I've been talking. Now that we're at 2605. And now we're at 2606. 50 more until we get to the number. So let's see how this goes. What else is there going to be happening this year, huh? I'm assuming that any of y'all have some like big conventions in your countries that you guys are planning on visiting. There is that I think I was mentioning Pokemon Worlds earlier, which I hope to see if I can attend. But you can only get the ticket through lottery. So I'm hoping to see if I can, get my chance through the lottery to see if I can get it. I kind of doubt it, but like there might be a chance. You're a stay-at-home geek, Drakus? I mean, I get that, but like, there's always a chance like you want to go interact with people that who share like a similar interest to you. That's the main reason why you interacted with us DL players, right? I know there's some news right now about something I think a little bit more terrifying. I'm not sure if that has been I'm not sure if that's really been on the news as well, but hopefully it's nothing too serious that we have to worry about when it comes to that news. I think because of the 2020 pandemic, I think people are a lot more cautious now about the sickness, but I don't think it's gonna be too bad. You got banana kidnapped, that doesn't count? I mean, Drakius, that still counts. I mean, you still interacted with us even after you basically got kidnapped. What news? The new sickness? Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. I don't know if it will spread too quickly. I kind of doubt it. And also, like, it has a less chance of being infectious compared to like what other people are saying. I don't have too. I don't know. I'm not. I guess I wouldn't call it fear mongering. It's more just the fact that like a lot of people are talking about the news of it, and a lot of people are, I guess, like riling up people about it, which I think is kind of like, meh. It's not that I don't think it's a type of thing to be concerned about, but I just don't like when people are like basically fear mongering and causing a lot more panic. Which is maybe it's just me, but like I'm wondering in this regard for like the people who are in the chat, do y'all feel like people on YouTube are getting a lot more emotionally driving conversations in a way that's usually, I guess I wouldn't say unproductive, but more so in a way that they're trying to install fear and sort of like these emotions to drive up their algorithm and views up. Like I thought, like before we used to do it all the time as well with like clickbait, but like it's it's hard to be like I don't know. Maybe this is a different topic to think about on a different day. Oh wait, dark blue. 2614. Might just be something I'm thinking of in my head. Looks like there's a bug catching contest right now for shiny hunting. Seems to be a shiny hunting event. Looks interesting. Sorry, you got called. Did I miss anything? You didn't miss anything too important, Drake. Yes. Mostly just me contemplating on like I'm just contemplating on this current state of YouTube. I'm wondering if YouTubers are being more fear mongering now than normally. Like, are people trying to rile up people now more often because they know it gets them views? It sells more for sure. It definitely does. But I always kind of just disliked it because like I don't think installing fear in people or like I guess I wouldn't say like misguided fear is more like you're stoking the flames. And when you stoke the flames of that type of stuff, it's like you tend to make people become more likely to do something that they wouldn't do. Is what I'm saying. I think like obviously what like the news that we were talking about earlier, like people are should obviously be like taking precautions. But I think there's a different story is when someone sends like misguided information about it and then paints a story or a narrative to like basically hook you into like their narrative. Because once you get hooked into their narrative, you kind of get like stuck on them just watching that channel to give you more information, and thus you're able to rake in and keep your viewer retention so high because of it. I don't know. It's personally something I don't like about it, but I understand why they do the thing that they do. 2622. 2623. 2624. 2625. Now we hit 26, 26, basically just being multiples of each other. I don't think it's going to be anything special. Nope. Alright, so we got about like 124 more before we are technically done. I also want to let you guys know that this is only a tracker right now that's for on-screen counting. This isn't counting even things I've done outside of the streams to try to see if I can get this Regieleki. Like, we could be well past over odds, but we're not past the on-screen over odds, which is directly making this feel like the longest shiny hunt I've ever done, but that's only because it's like the first time I'm ever counting my shiny hunts. I don't normally ever do that. Like I think I have the Arceus and my old Shaman, my Arceus and my Darkrai video, where I've caught them live and their live streams like way long ago. And I don't think it took me as long to get them as it is taking me long to do this. I'm actually curious if I even still have that. I think, interestingly enough, that might be only on Twitch when I was streaming. I've done 10k resets, so I could watch you for a few more hours, Lemo. If I recall, 13k was my worst. Are you referring to a 13k on a 1 out of 4,096 chance? Or are you referring to like a Really? You went 3 times over odds on a 1 out of 4,000 chance? Ugh. That just sounds painful, man. That just sounds... Ugh. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Yeah, go Lucas? Hey, no worries on that. You take care of yourself and you have a good time. Hope your Pokemon Champion gameplay is gonna go well. Thanks for checking it out. You thought it was shiny locked? What Pokemon were you hunting that was on 1 out of 4,000? Was it the fossils? I don't remember. It was a legendary, but which one? Were you doing like type null? Like type null and Poiple? That's like a Pokemon I could think of that's like 1 out of 4,096. That's like forced. Maybe Giratina in Rosa. Oh, you mean Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire? You call it Rosa? So you call it Ruby... Yeah, Aura is in English, my bad. Really? In French it's called Ruby Omega Sapphire Alpha? Is that how it's pronounced? Really? In French it's Rosa. French is Ruby Omega Alpha Sapphire Alpha. Really? Why is that the case? Most adjectives are swapped between English and French. Really? So French is saying that Omega and Alpha are supposed to be adjectives in that sentence. Huh, I never thought about Omega and Alpha being like adjectives. I know it can function as an adjective, but I didn't realize what like people would use it as an adjective. A blue bird on in usia blue. Okay. Huh. Okay, I think that makes sense when it comes to the language, but I didn't realize that we are using and referencing the languages to be blue. There was nothing pronounced well. Hey man, my bad. Okay, let me go with this. Oisiu blue. I at least do a little bit better there. I said un wrong too? You're telling me I only said blue right? Blue right. Really? I said oisio wrong too? Oisio, I think like whatever how you pronounce it, it's probably I'm gonna butcher that. But I butchered un? You're telling me I butchered un? You're gonna tell me it's gonna be like and usia blue. Like somehow the A turns into an EN instead of a UN. Un oi azul blue belu. Un oi hold on. Blech. Blech. So it's un oi azul blech. Is that what it is? Un oi azul blech. Oi, not oi. Oi. We. Or oi. Because like oi. O. Un o azul blue. So it's un o azul blue. Un azul blue. Un azul blue. Oza. Wazoo. Oh, wazoo. Un or wazoo. Un or wazoo. Okay. Un a wazoo blue. Isn't that like un as in like the one in Spanish? Like una, un. Dude, my reference is Spanish when I'm thinking that. No, that's a. No, that's a, not and. Un is like yun, like the e sound then. Yun, un. Uno. No. Or no in this case. Or is that translated? Oh, no. 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 It doesn't help also that YouTube auto translates this. So every single time you say it, it just auto translates it to the wrong one. It's like It's like un. So as soon as I said the word un, I thought I meant home. So like un. Yes. Is that because I say it right? Uh. So like a sound. Un. On no wa blue. On no was a blue. You know, it's funny that we keep still. I appreciate that you saying great, but it's also funny that we're still talking about the fact that English Regieleki is saying PP every single time he appears on screen. So like we're still dealing with the fact that while I might be pronouncing it right, I know Regieleki is not pronouncing it right. All right, we are at still 2650 men. This shiny Regieleki is gonna be one pain in the butt. Technically, now we're at the start of where we only have 100 left for resets before we just call it a day. Technically, I do wonder, can I raid on YouTube too? I gotta start thinking about that as well. Just for the sake of your pain, will appear at 2667. 67, yeah, yo. My other sibling was just already talking about 67. It's gonna be more 67s to come. We already saying this when we had we had what 670, and now you're saying 67 as well. We still have a Lucas's number at 2653, or in this case 2656. So we have 3 more for his number. So let's see how that goes as well. Let's also just do a quick spin, and then just do it. If it really comes at 6-7, that would be. I gotta name this thing 6-7 then, right? If this thing comes at 6-7, I literally would have to name it 6-7. Let's just see how this goes. Nope. So it wasn't at Lucas's number. So there's more of a chance that Dracus, you're gonna see this at 6-7, which means we get technically another chance or another round at doing this. 2657. Oh my god, man. It has to be somewhere in the footage that I must have skipped over it, but like we gotta figure out the odds for this. 2658. You're making you yawn? Me yawning inside the microphone, and considering it's late for you, it makes more sense. I can turn off my mic, so that way you won't hear me yawning. Nah, don't. It's fun. Gotcha. Sorry about that. Did I just put that? 26. Oh, that was 2659. That was gonna be counted as well. I assume it must be fun for you. You get to watch someone else go through misery, right? Not have to deal with it yourself. You know, now that I got the space, what's stopping me right now from setting up a Raspberry Pi and just letting the Raspberry Pi deal with this? Realistically. Really, there's nothing. Some do it, to be honest. Yeah, that is true. I don't blame them. Those are people that are being smart with their time and their energy. I'm not. Let's be honest. Dark blue. Yeah, sure, you code everything yourself and spend even more time than hunting it. I mean, that is true. But hey, that is something you can just throw onto something and you just have that as part of your thing, right? We're one shiny that may or may not work in the future generations. Hey, man. We got AI for that. We'll just have the AI program so that way it doesn't work. Has an issue, we just let the AI handle it. At this point, I wouldn't bet that maybe some of the shinies would be AI generated colors. I could see that for Game Freak. But like Gen 11. Some people said that for early shinies too. I mean, it's kind of proven wrong, right? Considering the fact that some of the shinies are then like looked at and then they're like, hey, let's pick this color. Because I know they changed Charizard's color from purple to black red. Then they changed like what? I think maybe Mewtwo's and Mew's colors were changed because like Mewtwo, like a lot, like there is like a significant bias of like certain pinks turning into blue. Or no, sorry, certain Pokemon that were blue colored just being turned pink. It's always like the blue Pokemon. It's always like the blue Pokemon that seem to be like having that blue turned into pink more often than not. And I think that's why people were like, oh, like, like, oh, you see this color happen so often to this one specific color. Must be some sort of algorithm. Also, we just passed through 6, 7, and it did not have it. So, of course, you were wrong, Drakius. I'm going to believe that this time we'll end up in failure. Well, 2670 it is. Is it really going to be this one? No. I knew what you were trying to do there. I appreciate that. But we both know that was not going to happen. Oh, what else would be there? I'm still thinking about the fact that my small like mini theory about the of course you would think about 2690. Of course you would. You didn't mention anything when we had 2669. But of course you going back to it, I think my mini theory about the legendaries for each game being determined by their naming order, I think that's a lot more true now than it is than it has been before, right? Considering that it's been like once you did in Gen 7, that's one thing. Then you did it in Gen 8, and then you did Gen 9, and then it was like 3 times is like kind of like the sweet spot of like that not being a theory. What is the exact theory again? So it's like the way that maybe it's just since you just told me about the French thing. My belief or assumption was that they arranged the Pokemon games or like what legendary appears in which one based off their order in their naming scheme. So in this case, like let's say starting like Gen 2, if people say Pokemon Gold and Silver, no one really says Silver and Gold. And so, that's the first column would be Ho-Ho, and the second column would be like Lugia. Then afterwards, the next one is Pokemon Ruby, and then it's Sapphire. So then it would be Groudon and Kyogre in those respective lists. So if you were in Gen 4, you would have gotten, let's say, in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, even though it was Pokemon Diamond, you would have gotten the Ruby and the Gold legendaries in that game. That's very technical. It is very technical. But the thing is that if once it happened in Gen 7, You know, like once is a coincidence, and then they did it twice in Galar, and then like you know twice can also be coincidence, and then they did it the third time in what is it, Paldea, with the Snacksworth legendaries, and I was like, this has to be intentional because like they do this way more often than you believe. The only time they deviate from that versioning is with Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and that's when they did that about the with Pokemon with Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. They obviously went for more of a red versus blue theme of which Pokemon you got. So like in Pokemon, I think Omega Ruby, it was all the red coded like legendaries, which honestly makes a lot more sense to think about it. People said that about the Zodiacs too. Yeah, I think that's true. People used to say about the Zodiacs for the Pokemon as well, and I think you believe that as well, didn't you? And that pretty much got disrupted, I think, in Gen 9. Because let's be honest, Quaxly does not come off as a Pokemon that has like a... Wait, was it because of... It was because Fuecoco evolved into a crocodile, right? That's why the main reason why people will stop believing that theory? Or was it because there was like something to do with the fact that plants were supposed to be like these dead like dinosaurs based animals, and then the what was it? It was supposed to be like the weapons, like all the Gen water types were supposed to be like weapon based Pokemon. Is that true? But what was the weapon for water for Gen 3? I don't know what Swampert was supposed to represent. Empoleon, maybe like a trident? Samurott makes sense. Greninja makes sense. Primarina? I'm not sure what weapon Primarina's wielding. Yeah, like wasn't like Gen 7 like the real killer of that theory? Fan for Swampert? Fan? Just because he had like back quads? Does Swampert even learn any flying moves? That's a question. Does Swampert learn any flying moves? The Correlated Fan? It had 3 warlike fan weapons. Does it? Are you talking about his gills? The whatever gray things. Or are you referring to as like his like scales? I think those are. I'm pretty sure those are scales. Because I think those like what I'm pretty sure those are based off like the actual animals. All right, 2685. Yeah, it's based off a mud skipper. Yeah, it looks like those animals just have those things on them. They're like just looking up a mud skipper just has those things on them. That's the point of the theory, to be honest. Gotcha. Have parts that look like weapons. Mm, I think the only problem is that Swampert is like the one Pokemon. Actually, no, I guess for Alligator also is like just not fit that at all. Like for Alligator and Swampert automatically debunks kind of like that. Don't have that. Gen 4, where Empoleon didn't really have it either. Well, no, it has a trident but as a face, but like, yeah, Empoleon has that spear on the face. Yeah, like I said the wrong thing. Like Empoleon has the spear on the face. Samurott has the sword. Greninja has water, like what? Ninja shurikens, which made sense because it was like the ninja class. For Alligator has the plates that look like the fighter thing. Plates? For Alligator has plates? Oh, on the arms. Oh, you're talking about the thing that it has on its like it's like on its hind legs, it's on its back of its tail, it's on its like its arms. Are those? I don't know if that's a. Are those plates? Really? I'm actually not even sure what those are because they changed color during when he turns when he goes mega evolved. I'm actually not sure what those are supposed to be for Alligator, honestly. Now that I think about it. What is that, really? Scales as plates, eh? Here's what Bulbapedia says is like for alligators, like a trivia and design. They probably have some talk about it. Dark blue. They actually really don't talk about it, the plates, as much. I wonder what they based it off of. Although, Drake is. Well, how does Primarina fit into that, by the way? I'm not sure how Primarina works then. The mace with spikes, like the spikes on the tail. Primarina has spikes on its tail? Is that true? Wait, so people thought that Primarina was supposed to be a mace? That's more like a heart, is it not? That literally looks like a heart-shaped tail. Oh, the pink bits. Oh, you're talking about the pink bits on the side of it. Um, huh. But I feel like those are more like fins, right? Because like the problem is that there's a ton of Pokemon that have like fins as like that kind of like style. A mace would be more like jutted, like straight out, whereas this one is more curved in the back. I don't know if there's any maces that are curved like that. Wait, in that case, though, what were people's opinion on Quaquaval? What do people believe Quaquaval's thing was? Or because the finger it literally has the finger gun and its G-Max form is as sniper? No, Drickus, that's Inteleon. I'm wondering about the Gen 9 one. Yeah, that one. I mean, it's water fighting, so my best guess would be like that would be the one to be the most direct to being like a fighter, like pure hands. The theory for the zodiac died, so people stopped caring. Hmm. But I guess I wonder because like wasn't so what was the theory for plants then? Wasn't the grass type like, supposed to be like they were all prehistoric animals? How does like Snivy fit into that? Old animals. Yeah, but like old animals is kind of like a lot more vague as a concept. Mega Python, or whatever the name. Mega Python. Wait, how does Chestnut fit into that then? Like I'm trying to think about all these Pokemon right now. Like don't even know what Chestnut would fit into this. Mega Python versus Gatoroid. What? Megaconda. Okay, interesting. So it's based off like this large, very, very large snake. Okay. So what would be Chestnut? Is it supposed to be like a chest? Like, isn't it supposed to be like a porcupine? Like, I get Bailey's the dinosaur. Bulbasaur is supposed to be like like a ancient frog. Trico was supposed to be, I guess. I actually have no idea what Trico is. I know that it's supposed to be a dragon or some sort of prehistoric feature because it's dragon type and it's mega. Gen 4 was just a Bonsly tree. I don't know how you can make that. Well, no, it's a Torterra, right? So therefore, it's like Pteropsid, Pteropsid, whatever. Triceratops. Maybe a Triceratops was for Torterra. Torterra origins. Yeah, it's probably the world turtle, which is got its whole float taken by yeah, like that's the whole point. It's like it makes more sense for the thing to be an ankylosaur. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Kurma. Oh yeah, it was based off of Kurma. That makes sense. Anyway, what did you say Chestnut was based off of? Chestnut was based off of a really old species? Chestnut's origin. I don't even know what Chestnut's based off of. A glyptopodon? A glyptopodon? Glyptopodons. What the heck is this? Really? Okay, so that's the type of maces that you thought were based off of. Is that an ancient monkey? Based on an old owl. I mean, it says right here that the. I mean, from what I'm reading on right now, it seems to be that people are still believing that the theory continues. Since they believe that what's his name? Skeledirge is a snake. That might be Cope though, but would be funny Cope. I don't know, man. Looking at the third one, having Swampert as a fan, I mean, I get the design, but like that kind of just looks like what Mudskipper is, honestly. Yeah, but they have the from what I saw, like looking up a mud skipper, they have those scales that are like that shape. Like looking at this right here, like it does have like it's a resemblance of a to a mud skipper in their way of like having those scales be drawn out. At least that's what I got from the picture I've sent around. That's at least what I'm interpreting, or at least I'm understanding. I don't know. Plus, this is Game Freak, man. If they normally, if they want to use an inanimate object, they just go straight for the inanimate object. Like, there's a reason why Aegislash, Magnemite exist, and are just not too different from what the Pokemon is. Like, I can tell you, like Cinderace is kind of supposed to be like a pretty prime example of a soccer player, just because of how it's designed. Tortank has cannons yet isn't an item. That is true, but like I think that's also because of the fact that they were setting up for Squirtle, Wartortle, and then Blastoise, and then like having their names also be like some versions of like canon related. Yeah, and Amphibian has Shurikens too without being one. It's later on, but it does. But I think the thing with Amphibinobi and Inteleon is that they're designed to have moves that are correlate to their weapon type, which I think makes more sense for them. Yeah, Samurott also has like two blades hidden on himself as well. But like Empoleon doesn't really get a move where it relies on its trident. In the same way that Primarina's main weapon wasn't on the like Primarina's main subject was its sparkling aria as its voice rather than anything else, honestly. Like what I'm pretty sure like Hydro Cannon is based off of like I think pretty sure it's based off of Blastoise. Like Primarina has no reason for the pink bits other than that. I mean, aren't I assume that must be something to do with the animal, right? Like sea lions, maybe? Too spiky to be real fins? I mean, it could be possible that they were trying to go for maybe the sea lion look. Sea lions are smooth though. I mean, it's possible that she also could be referencing like sirens that used to have like spikes. Because there are some, I guess, some details about the idea or concept of sirens having spikes on their body. Presumably, I guess to like injure the people, the men they lure, and then sink them into the ocean. So it could be like their way of like incapacitating a foe. Yeah, unlike traditionally beautiful mermaids, sirens are often described as having dark, scaly skin, sharp teeth, and spikes on their tails. Interesting. In early Greek art, sirens are actually depicted as part woman, part bird, with wings and feathers, rather than having tails with spikes. Whether they have spikes or not, they're almost always portrayed as having terrifyingly sharp teeth and claws, rather than a pretty look. It might be possible to try to reference like the sharp bits. Spike on the tail was a line at the back, like sea serpents. Could be. But like if they're comparing it to a nail in a bat, they're comparing it to a batted nail, which I don't think translated as like properly, you know? Also, now thinking about it, isn't like the yep, Luca's still going on, still trying to do this. We blasted through 27, 20, 26, 56, and we didn't get the shiny still. We're gonna wrap it up as soon as we get to 2750. Right now we're having a debate on like why the like we're looking at the Chinese zodiac, and we're looking at like that old theory of like all the starters being the grass types, being extinct animals, the water types being like Pokemon with weapons, and the fire types being Pokemon with Chinese zodiac related mythology. And right now, I don't agree with Drake. Yes, when he says that I don't know, some of these are a lot more vague than I think of. The Chinese zodiac one is so hard to dispute because like it just makes sense. It just makes sense of what they were trying to do. Just you know, I don't believe they stick to the scheme if they don't need to, but for sure the waters do have weapons, grass for all disappeared animals, and fires for most bit. Ah, I get that, but I can definitely see that. Although, didn't they try to describe like Fennekin as like a dog, or was there a Chinese zodiac like fox? I forget if it is like they had to like fudge it a bit. A kind of D. They're a dog box in nature. Really? I mean, it says right here that dogs are not foxes. So like they might be like in like the huge genus of the same family, but like they might not be related as much from what I'm seeing on like Google. They're not part of the same genus, or they're not closely related. Because what I'm gathering on the thing is that they're saying that foxes are a different genus and dogs are from part of a different genus as well. What about crocodiles? Think about it. Do you mean as in like for what about crocodile though? Think about it. I'm not sure which one. Are you referring to like Skeledirge? Because I don't know if crocodile. Well, the crocodile basically like breaks the theory. If you squint, Skeledirge kind of fits. The only thing is though, they keep trying to make Skeledirge fit as a snake, which I don't know if that works. Is there a crocodile in the Chinese New Year? I don't know. But remember, they're way more forgiving. I guess so. I mean, technically speaking, like just talking about like what Charmander. Charmander's supposed to be technically an act like not a lizard. Like cows and oxen, rats and mice. I hate English. I get that feeling. Although, actually, I'm curious to know what. I wonder if I don't know. English is such a hodgepodge of other languages that like that's kind of like one of our biggest faults. Meese and meese. Sheep and goat fit too. Sheep and goat, huh? Who would be sheep and goat in here? Oh, because of Cinderace? I'm actually not sure which one that would be referring to. Dark blue. I mean, sheep and goat are both valid for the same zodiac. Now that we have one. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. There's a dog. Although technically speaking, wouldn't the Pomeranian dog that we're getting in Winds and Waves fit more to the Chinese zodiac theory? Fun fact, it's called fish if it's one or more of the same fish, but fishes for a number of different species. Oh, that makes sense. I think that makes sense. And panda is called an embarrassment of pandas. That's fishy, Lucas. Group of animals in English makes no sense. Why do crows form a murder? So I think that's based on the I think the murder thing is actually based off the fact that crows would only gather around an animal when they had a funeral. Because I think that because that's what people saw was that you only saw a bunch of crows when they were either at a funeral for their own species or they were at a they were pecking and stuff. Yeah, but I think that's what the thing was, that you only saw a bunch of crows when something got killed. No, if something were don't I forget, it's either crows or ravens that eat dead animals, right? Uh, oh yeah, both ravens and crows are opportunistic omnivores and scavengers that mostly commonly eat dead animals. So I think that's the reason why. It's because you only see crows and ravens in like large groups when like they saw another dead animal. So I think they just called them a murder because of like some old timey-wimey English stuff from what I gathered. Wait, also just makes crows cooler, Yeah, that's 100% true. Like you just now think of like a group of crows just called a murder. Also, I don't think you call one not a murder of crows because like murder is referring to just crows by themselves. You don't refer to like uh like um like you don't refer to a human as like not a murder of humans. You call it a cornucopia of humans, or you call it an infestation of humans. Like kind of like that type of English language. A tribe of goats, a conspiracy of lemurs, a romp of otters, a crash of rhinoceros, a convocation of eagles, a flamboyance of flamingos, a parliament of owls, a basque of crocodiles. Shout out Murkrow. Yeah, that's true. 100%. Murkrow is a really good Pokemon. Shout out Murkrow. Great Tailwind Pokemon. A flamboyance of flamingos. That makes sense. That honestly, you think of a flamingo, you think of flamboyancy as the first thing that comes up. Like flamingos, 100% flamboyant. A parliament of owls. That might be just because like people who stand on parliament had like those big desks, so they might look like owls to them. So that's why they were called the parliament of owls. I don't know. Hey, bro, you're asking the wrong question. Like, this is part of your history, part of the European history that mostly named these things. You gotta figure this out. You gotta figure this out, not me. I know you're French, but you remember the French was a part of the revolution. I inherited the history. You get the mess of the deal you deal with, brother. You think I'm English? I'm not white. I'm brown. I gotta deal with South Asian history. Bro, I swear it's 12 a.m. in the UK. We're not having this right now. This discussion. Hey, bro, you two are the ones who got sick of figure this out. The European history has got to be the one that influenced everybody else. All right, and don't worry, guys. I know you guys are all talking about the time and everything. We're about to wrap up in about 6 minutes, so we're gonna be all good. We're going to wrap up in like 6 seconds, like six more encounters. So once that's done, we're gonna be able to be good to go. Don't gotta worry about anything. We're at 27:45 right now. I don't think I've been paying attention enough to besides this conversation because of how interesting this conversation was. Oh, Drake, you're talking about 3 a.m. Yeah, I've seen this man do 6 a.m. every single day. I don't understand it. Drakius does not need sleep, and I don't understand why. I don't get why, but he does not need sleep. 27:47. All right, we got three more. I highly doubt that we're gonna end the day with actually getting the shiny. I'm gonna have to review through the footage. I'm gonna make sure that I didn't skip a shiny because if I did, oh boy, I'm gonna use that footage and I'll post that up on the community post, and then hate myself for it the entire time. I'm gonna throw it. I'm gonna lose my craziness if I found the shiny earlier and I just didn't notice because we were talking about zebras and crows and murders and a bunch of other stuff. I'm gonna have to scrub through that footage. It also doesn't help that I'm also going through this rapidly fast, just literally just waiting till it pops up and then doing so. All right, dark blue. Alright, I guess we just ended on this one. We got a drum roll until we get to do this one more try. 27.51. Let's just see. Tempted to say it's not gonna happen. Alright, guys. Well, that was a good stream. Alright, so we went through another 350 encounters without having anything. We've discussed basically why the English language suck from 3 different people. We discussed the Game Awards and why GTA is going to win every single competition and every single nomination. I think we had a good stream overall, man. I'm going to plan to see if we do this tomorrow and see if we can do this right now. I'll probably do some more setup when it comes to pre-stream stuff. And hope you all have a good night. Hope you all UK and French people are going to sleep well. And then you wake up tomorrow and get to walk around everywhere nice and don't have to worry about cars. Hope you all enjoy yourselves and get to enjoy your time. Alright, I'll see you, Regieleki. Hope you have a good night, man. And I'll see you as well, Lucas. Hope you have a good night as well. Alright? Hope you all get a peace out. Ending the stream right now.